We've got breaking news surrounding the New York Knicks. Leon Rose has informed Tom Thibodeau that he is no longer going to be the coach of this basketball team. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. A day that I don't think should have happened today. I don't think the New York Knicks should have fired Tom Thibodeau. I guess the better way to say that is I don't think Tom Thibodeau deserved to be fired. I think Thibodeau earned the right to be the coach of the 2025-2026 New York Knicks due to how the 2024-2025 Knicks played. And they beat the Boston Celtics, the team they were beat to build. You were 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. But here we are. The New York Knicks have fired Tom Thibodeau. And now the search for the next head coach of this organization is underway. I've got a lot of thoughts. I've got a lot of questions. I got a lot to say. I guess I'll just open up the comment section to all y'all. What is your one-word reaction to Tom Thibodeau being fired? Sound off for me down below. What is your one-word reaction to the New York Knicks firing Tom Thibodeau? I'm sure some people are going to be happy. I'm sure some people are going to be mad. I'm sure some people are speechless. And that's kind of what I am, but I got to come up here and tell you how I feel about it. My man Mike G in the chat, what up? Bob Builder says surprised. All year he ditched about Tibbs. Now he changed his mind. Well, yeah, they got to the conference finals. So, yeah, things change. Should I not change my opinion when new information becomes relevant? That seems stupid. But a comment like that kind of paints the picture of how you act as an individual. Tennessee Booyah says floored. Cameron Johnson says wow. Not Josue, speechless. Carl Knight, shocked. James DeGaines, Preachard. What's up, James? Ugh. A lot to unpack here. Shocked, why, expected, needed, necessary, surprise, bad idea, yikes, laughing, let's go, heartbreak, finally, we lit, sad, actually wild, I don't have any words, shocked, necessary but surprising, lost winnable games, I'm shocked, not a good move, stoked, wow. Yeah, and I kind of feel all of those things. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. 220 people live in the chat. Only 40 likes. If you could, click that like button. I did a video on yesterday. It's only Tuesday of this week. It's only been 2 days since the season has ended. I did a video on Monday, and I asked the question of – I did a video that there were 5 questions that Leon Rose needed to answer. And the first question I had in that video was, can Tom Thibodeau win a championship? And then I talked about it a little bit more, and I said, well, the better question is, can Tom Thibodeau, Jalen Brunson, and Karl-Anthony Towns win a championship? And Leon Rose came to the conclusion that, no, he cannot. We're now getting all of this stuff coming out that the New York Knicks would have fired Tom Thibodeau if he lost to the Pistons. And we're seeing reports now that Tom Thibodeau believed that he had to beat the Celtics to keep his job. And, yeah, I don't know. My man Seal Pasito, Cat got Tibbs fired again. You laugh. But it's partly true. It's partly true. The thing that I keep coming back to is for Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns to win the NBA Finals as your best 2 players, you need to have an unstoppable offense. Your offense needs to be like the Pacers' offense. One that makes good defenses look bad. One that is as close to perfect as it gets. And whether you like Tom Thibodeau, whether you don't like Tom Thibodeau, it's very easy to say that he did not get the most out of Karl-Anthony Towns as an offensive player. He did not put Towns in a spot to be the elite offensive player that he is. How do I easily convey that? Cat shot less threes this year than he had since 2019. The New York Knicks this year, with a stretch 5, shot less threes than they did last year and the year before that when Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein were their starting centers. I don't think you can win a championship if Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns are your best players if you don't have the best offense in the NBA. And I think even the biggest Tom Thibodeau fans would admit that his offense is a little bit questionable. Very ISO-centric. Not enough passing. Not enough synergy. Not enough of everything. Like, it's just the truth. Tom Thibodeau is not the greatest offensive coach. But he is a hell of a coach. And even if you're happy today that Tom Thibodeau got fired, you should also be thankful. And I guess I'll just start by saying thank you, Tom Thibodeau. Thank you for what you did as the coach of this organization. Thank you for taking the New York Knicks from the laughing stock of the NBA to one of 3 teams that has gotten to the second round of the playoffs and beyond in each of the last 3 seasons. The New York Knicks are looked at right now as one of the most highly functionable, best coached, best run, most talented team. The Knicks had never looked like that in my lifetime. I'm very thankful for Tom Thibodeau. He turned a team that I love more than anything in this world to a great team. And he reached into the bottoms of the NBA, which the Knicks were, pulled us out, and I would say the New York Knicks in the last 3 years are a top 5 team in the NBA. And you could maybe even say top 3. So I will forever be thankful to Tom Thibodeau. I will always have appreciation for him, and I stand up here a little bit sad, even though there's tweets you can find that I'm cursing out Tom Thibodeau. And I'm tweeted out before, I think he's an effing idiot. And I think he could never win an NBA championship. And that the Knicks need to fire Tom Thibodeau and get rid of their Mark Jackson to go find their Steve Kerr. I tweeted that, I stand on that, and I truly believe that. But I am a little bit sad standing up here knowing that this era of Knicks basketball is coming to a close. Tom Thibodeau is not a bad coach. He's a hell of a coach. 2-time coach of the year. The best Knicks coach any of us have seen if you are 30 years or younger. But clearly this was a decision that Leon Rose thought was best. I don't think he deserved to be fired. But sometimes in life you got to make tough decisions to get to spots and places you've never been. And it's pretty clear Leon Rose thought the New York Knicks have a better chance of winning the NBA Finals with a new coach. I put a photo in there of the press release, Alper. I want to read that, and then I want you to come up on, and we could talk about this. Leon Rose and the New York Knicks released this statement right here. And if you're just joining the show, if you just want to throw up an L3, you can just keep it a breaking Knicks fire Tom Thibodeau. I'll just read this. Leon Rose on the Knicks firing Tom Thibodeau. Our organization is singularly focused on winning a championship for our fans. This pursuit led us to the difficult decision to inform Tom Thibodeau that we've decided to move in another direction. We can't thank Tom Thibodeau enough for pouring his heart and soul into each and every day of being the New York Knicks head coach. He led us not only with class and professionalism for the past 5 seasons, but also to tremendous success on the court. with 4 playoff bursts and 4 playoff series victories. Ultimately, we made the decision we feel is best for our organization moving forward. Tom Thibodeau will always be a part of our Knicks family, and we truly wish him nothing but the best in the future. And that's where we're at. The Knicks have fired Tom Thibodeau. They are now in search of their next head coach. And we've got a list of some coaches that we'll break down in a little bit. But Alper, just your immediate thoughts on all of this.
I would say that I'm not really shocked. I'm surprised. I didn't think it would actually happen after the Knicks went to 6 games with the Pacers. But I've been waiting for this moment for a while. I kind of, you said it, think that Tom Thibodeau dug us out of the ground. The Knicks back in 2020 were the laughingstock of the league after missing out on KD and Kyrie, and he came in and took this from the ground up and built us to where we are. So I'm extremely thankful for Tom Thibodeau. But truthfully, I don't know if he could get us over that hump of going to the NBA Finals and getting that championship that we desire now. It's not the goal of the Knicks to make the playoffs. It's not the goal of the Knicks to make it past the first round. It is the goal to win an NBA championship, like Leon Rose said in his statement. And I think you, me, Leon Rose, and the Knicks front office obviously said Tibbs is holding us back to a point where we can't keep him at all anymore. Question is, who's going to be that next head coach that gets us over the hump? Is it going to be a Mike Malone? Is it me personally? I think the Knicks kind of panicked when they saw that Johnny Bryant was about to get hired by the Suns. Because the second you saw that, we saw yesterday morning where it was Leon Rose, Brunson, and the rest of the Knicks embraced Tom Thibodeau as their head coach. Then that report came out of Johnny Bryant about to be hired by the Suns as one of the final 2 candidates, and then everything started to kind of take a step back. And Ian Begley, he went on, was it Knicks Fan TV? Zach Lowe, and said, well, we don't know yet. And then it kind of all started to backtrack, and now here we are today as the Knicks are firing Tom Thibodeau.
And we broke down that quote on the show. We might have it in the graphics. I don't know if we moved over all the quotes.
Yes.
Of Ian Begley and what he said. And right after I got the news when we got the news, I went back and I read that quote. And Ian Begley said, without saying, that it's not 100% he's back. And he kind of, like, I don't mean to say this in any type of way towards Ian, and I hope, I'm not saying he victory lapped, but he quoted what he said on Twitter and said, people didn't believe me when I said it, and I stand by it, and I never do this, and now I'm doing it. Ian Begley yesterday, I do think that there's a strong possibility, a solid possibility, that changes are coming if the Knicks flame out against Detroit or even if they're non-competitive in the second round against Boston Celtics. Earlier this year, somebody asked me about Tom Thibodeau, and I thought based on everything that I heard coming into the year, I didn't think there was a scenario where the Knicks would change their head coach. Now, more recently, having conversations with people seeing which way the wind is blowing, the stakes are high for Tom Thibodeau going into the postseason. He said that going into the postseason, but what he said yesterday on the Zach Lowe show was essentially that if I'm a betting man, I would bet that Tom Thibodeau is going to be back. But yeah, I don't know. It's a lot to digest. It really, really is. And what Begley said on Tibbs, it was a photo, my bad.
You're good.
Begley to Zach Lowe, if I'm betting, he's back. But I can tell you for sure it hasn't been decided, at least to my knowledge yet, on 9:45 a.m. Monday. Obviously, name out there, if they did move, Jay Wright, Michael Malone. Kind of similar qualities to Tibbs, but no other slam dunk. So I'm a betting man, he's back, but I can tell you for sure it hasn't been decided, at least to my knowledge. And it's been decided. Tom Thibodeau is no longer the head coach of the New York Knicks. Shout out to everybody coming in with super chats. We appreciate y'all. We'll pop those up on the show. Oscar Torres, what's up, my man? Great coach, but plays like it's 2010. I mean, they were 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. They were the biggest choke job in NBA history and game 1 away from the NBA Finals. I think he deserves a little bit more respect and a little bit more credit for that. I could tell you this much. There's 15 other teams that when they got this news said, we may need to rethink our head coaching position. Tom Thibodeau, Creed says, sounds like you're concerned, Marsh. I am concerned. Are we going to find someone better? You better hope you find someone better. Your best player loves Tom Thibodeau.
Fully embraced Tom Thibodeau. Publicly.
Jalen Brunson came to the Knicks to play for Tom Thibodeau. But Leon Rose is his godfather, and Johnny Bryant's the move. That's a lot of risk, in my opinion. That's a lot of risk. Never been a head coach. And I'm not saying people that haven't been head coaches can't be great head coaches, because every coach has to get their first job somewhere. It's an awful lot on the plate of Johnny Bryant. We just fired the head coach that got us 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. And you got to come in here and probably get us to the finals, or you might be out the door in 1 year. You better get it right. That's all I'm saying. You better get it right. J10, what's up, my man? They absolutely have their next head coach in hand. Wouldn't do this so soon otherwise. I don't necessarily agree. I think that you do this.
What's the point of waiting?
Yeah, you do it now because, one, there's no point to wait. 2, you get out in front. But I guess you're saying that you think they already know who the next coach is, J10? And why are we so sure? And I just see my guy Isaac Smith in the chat. High fives. The infatuation with Johnny Bryant's a bit much for me. I don't know. The Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau because they think that he can't win a championship as the head coach. That's it. That's the reason.
Yep.
We read you the quote from Leon Rose. That's why they did it. So the next coach has to get to the finals now, just hold on to his job next season. I mean, they just fired a guy that got into the second round, then the third round, and they fired him. I'd say this much. If the Knicks don't get to the second round of the playoffs next year, they might fire that guy too. It's a tough job right now. It's a tough job. What about Mo Cheeks? Not a chance.
No.
Someone tweeted out the whole coaching staff may be gone. We'll see, though.
I do think J10 is on to something about they have their next coach. They know. Personally, I think they had Tom Thibodeau in mind way before he was hired back in 2020. And we all know that Jalen Brunson was pretty much a Knick before the season even ended. So they always are plotting way ahead.
They are. They are the most forward-thinking organization in sports. I agree with that.
But who is the coach? We don't know. Shout out to Jaden Rossi, $2 super chat.
Def Bryant, the guy that left the New York Knicks last year, you sure he wants to be here? Knicks didn't fire Johnny Bryant. He left for the same job. He
didn't get promoted.
Let's zoom out from just Johnny Bryant or bust.
Yeah.
You're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice, in my opinion. Had to swipe him out of the Suns' hands. If Johnny Bryant was so good, he would already be the Suns' head coach. They wouldn't have him as a finalist. He would be the finalist. But I get it. Everybody loves Everybody loves the backup quarterback. Everybody loves the assistant head coach. It's the best thing about sports. J10, what up, my man? His new contract didn't even start yet. They have their new head coach. He never adjusted. Using bench in Eastern Conference Finals was by accident. Can't develop players. I'm going to push back on that as well. He turned Julius Randle into a two-time All-NBA player. He turned Jalen Brunson into the best point guard in the NBA. He turned Josh Hart into a $20 million player. He turned Dante DiVincenzo into an elite player with the New York Knicks. Emmanuel Quickley sure developed.
Look where they're doing. Look what all those guys that you just mentioned are doing right now. Dante DiVincenzo is a shell of himself, what he was in New York. Emmanuel Quickley, you never heard his name. You would look at the box score and be like, damn, I thought he was really going to be that good. Tom Thibodeau brought out the best of all of them.
The best years of Julius Randle's career with the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau. Jalen Brunson's best years of his career were with the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau. Josh Hart's best years of his career with the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau. Dante DiVincenzo's best year with the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau. Isaiah Hartenstein signed a 2-year, $16 million deal with the Knicks. He got in the Tom Thibodeau system. He cashed in for $80 million the next year. There are a lot of things that could be said why Tom Thibodeau is not the best coach in the world. It doesn't make sense to me or is fair to say he can't develop players. He developed Isaiah Hartenstein, developed Julius Randle, he developed Jalen Brunson, he developed Dante DiVincenzo, he developed Josh Hart, he's developed Mitchell Robinson. That's not fair. That's not fair. If you're happy he's fired, that's okay. I've yelled it before. Fire him. But there's things that are fair and that are unfair, and I just think the can't develop players is a little unfair. I think that's a little bit unfair. Now, he never adjusted? Sure.
Yes.
He played the bench because of accident, because of foul trouble? Sure. Is he stuck in his ways? No doubt about it. It's not fair to say he didn't develop players. He absolutely did. Jose Cruz Torres. Welcome to the Knicks Mike Budenholzer. Maybe. I don't know. If you had to guess right now, who do you think the head coach is, Alper?
God. I mean, it's hard to not say Johnny Bryant, but I really don't know. Mike Malone? It seems like Mike Malone is the best, experienced head coaching candidate, but I don't know if I really want Mike Malone. He kind of has a lot of Tibbs tendencies. And if you're going to hire someone that has a lot of Tibbs tendencies, why the hell would you get rid of Tibbs? I said it before we came on live. You want a guy that has some experience but not old school. Me, I want new wave coach, like someone that's under the age of 50 that has not really... I want a new head coach, not someone that's going to be out of the blue like Derek Fisher a couple of years ago, but someone that's been a tenured assistant coach that he's gotten graces from other teams that, yeah, this guy could be a head coach. But then you make the point, Johnny Bryant, he left. Are we sure he wants to be a Knick? I don't know. It's right then and there. So it's going to be a while until we hire someone.
BTD Reacts. What's up, man? Who would I like, Marsh? I would have did one more year. I think Tom Thibodeau deserved one more year. I do. On the video I put out this morning and the 2 videos I did yesterday on the channel, I think Tom Thibodeau earned that. But life's not fair. I'll just say this. If I told everyone watching this show that the Knicks were going to get to Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals and they fired Tom Thibodeau after, you would have all said you're crazy.
Yep.
You would all said you're crazy. No way. It's the furthest we've ever been. He's the best we've ever had since da-da-da-da-da. Which I'm so glad that no one can ever utter that dumb take again. We can't fire him. He's better than what we had. That's simp energy. It is. That's like saying, Alper, My girlfriend right now has cheated on me 4 times. My girlfriend before that cheated on me 6 times. And my girlfriend before that cheated on me 8 times.
Yep.
But since my new girlfriend cheated on me less than those other girlfriends,
They're
I
better.
can't fire her because they were better than what I had. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. If you have a car that doesn't have AC and it has a flat tire, but it's better than the car that you had before that didn't run, that doesn't mean you can't get a new car because your current shitty car is better than your old shitty car. But yeah, we got a new we're gonna have a new coach.
I'm glad that we're gonna have a new coach. Like I want to get over that hump, but I don't think Tom Thibodeau was that guy to do it. But he proved to me, because I thought honestly we were gonna lose to the Celtics in like 5 or 6. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. He deserved another year. Easily deserved another year.
I think he deserved another year. He got to the conference finals. He beat Boston. That's who you were built to beat.
Exactly.
Someone says, be careful what you wish for. I didn't wish for Tom Thibodeau to be fired at the end of the year. I had before. There were plenty of times I yelled, fire Tom Thibodeau. But there's a lot of players on this team that love him too. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson. Like, Deuce McBride said some things after the final game of we got exposed. Things that we've been doing all year got exposed. I don't think Deuce and Tibbs got along all that much at the end of the season.
I don't think Mikal Bridges and Tibbs got along
Bridges
at all.
and Tibbs didn't get along either. And Alper, I think it came down to Leon Rose thought it would be easier to try it with the new head coach than completely blow up this roster.
Yeah. Was it Leon Rose or was it Dolan coming from up top saying, I think we should do a change? Because I did see reports that saying, yeah, Leon Rose.
Dolan had the final say is what I've seen.
Because it was like Leon Rose, Jalen Brunson, they embraced Thibodeau. But it's up to James Dolan. Did James Dolan come in and say, no, we have to make a change? We have to make a change. I guess we'll never know. Shipmaster Kyle, $5. The infatuation with Johnny Bryant is actually crazy. He doesn't want to be here, bro.
Look, I don't know if that's true or not, but the Johnny Bryant is our coach already is just a bit too much for me.
Yeah.
We haven't interviewed anybody. We haven't even reached out. We haven't even seen who wants to be the head coach here. We're going to talk about Tom Thibodeau replacements coming up here in a little bit. If I had to power rank who I want, Johnny Bryant's probably not in my top 3. And that's not to say he's a bad coach, but I don't think that – I don't know. I'm trying to choose my words wisely. This team is in title or bust mode very clearly. It's title or bust mode right now. Is Johnny Bryant a title or bust now coach? I don't know. Johnson, what's up, man? Says, I think Dolan trusted Leon Rose enough to make that decision. If Dolan trusted Leon Rose to lead the franchise from the depths of hell, I think it was being. I agree. And I'm going to tell myself that's true because if James Dolan went against Leon Rose's words, I think Leon Rose would quit.
Yeah.
I think Leon Rose would quit.
Yeah.
I think Leon Rose took this job because James Dolan gave him every opportunity to do whatever he wanted. I'm going to tell myself that it was a Leon Rose move because I'm going to crash out.
We got your Bob Builder.
I just saw maybe the dumbest tweet in my life. I'd bring Tibbs back as a defensive coordinator. Yeah,
What?
Tibbs going to come back, leave the head coaching ranks, and be a defense.
What?
That's insane. Creed, feels like Rick Brunson might get the promotion. I got a feeling.
No.
You're feeling something else because it ain't that. It ain't that. Jaden Rossi, what up, my man? $2 super chat. Wish they kept Tibbs and got a good offensive assistant. I had thought hard and long about keeping Tom Thibodeau Alper and getting an assistant.
Who would that assistant be?
Get in the pool or get out of the pool. Feet are in the sand or feet are not in the sand. We're in the Tom Thibodeau business or we're not in the Tom Thibodeau business. Is Tom Thibodeau going to listen to somebody outside of his circle on how to run offense?
Hell no.
No. Piss or get off the pot. There was no half measures here. You're either in the Tom Thibodeau business or you're not, and clearly they're not. They're not. They're not. So now we're left without a coach, and we're in the search to get a good one.
Jose Cruz Torres, welcome to the Knicks. Mike Brown.
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
No. There you go, Bob Builder.
Are Knicks an inviting job or a risk to a coach now? Being the head coach of the New York Knicks will always be inviting because it's the best organization in the NBA. It's the number one brand in the NBA. And you're joining the Knicks at the top of the franchise's peak, which is right now. Unless you want to go back to the days where the ABA was still a thing. The New York Knicks are a destination job. They're a dream job. But there's also a lot involved in it. A lot of pressure.
It's extremely a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. A lot of expectations is the word I'm looking for. High expectations. This job's not for the weak. Because I do think there's a world that you could be fired after 1 year. Leon Rose ain't sitting on his hands. I think I've said that 30 times since the season ended. His hands are up here, and he's signing things right now that says our coach is fired. Warriors are a bigger brand. Okay, that's cool, bro.
If you want to think that.
That's okay. Eastern Conference Finals were the most watched since LeBron James were in them. Celtics played it 4 times since then. There's a reason. Ian Begley saying, or this coming from Knicks videos, the way the Knicks conducted their season end review of the organization was different than normal. As, quote, top players on the roster were called into meetings that owner James Dolan was also present at, says Ian Begley. Eventually, those reviews led to the Knicks deciding to move on from Tom Thibodeau as head coach. I don't love that.
The odds came out for the Knicks' next head coach.
Let's hear them.
You got Johnny Bryan as the favorite, plus 240. Kenny Atkinson at plus 400.
How's that possible?
I have no idea. This is from Bovada. James Borrego, who's he assistant at? Where's he at? Plus 950. Mike Budenholzer, plus 950. Patrick Ewing, plus 950. Sam Cassell, plus 950. Frank Vogel, plus 1100. Chris Quinn, plus 1400. Jay Wright, plus 1400. Mark Jackson, plus 1400. Mike D'Antoni, plus 2000. And I'll say this one for shits and giggles. Becky Hammond, plus 2,500.
I don't know. She might think our best player is too small.
Stephen A. Smith, plus 6,000.
Are we on there?
Why aren't we on there?
We aren't on there?
If he's on there, why not?
Don't scoff at Ewing. I love Pat. He ain't a head coach.
He's not a head coach.
We saw that at Georgetown.
You take that shot? Have you ever taken that shot before? Oh, where are we got? I'm looking right here.
Frank Isola just tweeted out Jason Kidd ? And then quote tweeted and said, that's what I think could happen. I have no interest in Jason Kidd.
No, I don't.
I have no interest in Jason Kidd. Do I think Jalen Brunson's dad gets the boot? I think there's a chance. Jaden Rossi, what up, man? Thank you for the super chat, Jaden. The job may be intimidating with huge expectations, but you're an instant NBA legend winning the chip with the Knicks. In Leon we trust. I agree. A lot of pressure, a lot of expectations, but you're the coach of the New York Knicks. Jose Cruz Torres, welcome back, Mike D'Antoni. Oops, wrong show. Why am I not canvassing for Rick Brunson? I'm confused. Should I be?
Why? What?
Should I be? Where's the joke and how? Why am I missing it?
What does Rick Brunson bring to the table? Please tell me in the chat. What does he bring to the table? Who do I want? I want a new head coach. I don't know who it's going to be. I said Pablo Prigioni, and everybody laughed at me. He's been the assistant coach of the Timberwolves for like 7 years. It's their lead assistant. Monty Williams, yeah, get that out of here. Get that out of here, Sam Boots. Why are you anti-Jason Kidd? Didn't he just bring the Mavs to the finals?
Yeah, and he got mopped up by the Celtics with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Why would the Knicks bring in a coach that's a defensive-minded coach that doesn't coach offense when they just had that? We see it all the time in sports. In football, you have a head coach. He's offensive-minded. You fire him. You then go the other way and hire a defensive-minded coach. It's always a sway of what you go after once one thing works and one thing doesn't. It's very clear what this Knicks team needs as a head coach if they are going to run it back with Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns as their best two players. A coach that turns this offense into the best in the NBA. One that maximizes the offensive potential of Karl-Anthony Towns. Tom Thibodeau did not do that.
Someone that's going to run pick and pops and pick and rolls with Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. Because that's Karl-Anthony Towns' strong suit.
Karl-Anthony Towns shot less threes this year than he did since 2019. How is that possible?
That's ridiculous.
How is that possible?
Cat might be the greatest big man shooter ever. Ever.
Man, that's crazy. James Saladino. What's up, James? Everyone who wants Johnny Bryant to be the head coach. Meanwhile, the guy never managed a game in his life. That's why we haven't won in half a century. Yep, never been a head coach. Chose to leave the New York Knicks for a lateral position. And never been a head coach. Not saying you can't hire someone that's never been a head coach, but you're bringing a head coach into a spot where it's finals or bust. It's a lot of pressure on a guy that's never done it before. And you're betting a lot. You're betting the prime. You are now betting the prime years of Jalen Brunson's career on this next head coach. We're in the prime. It was cute 3 years ago. We weren't. It was cute when we lost the Pacers in 7 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. The prime of Jalen Brunson's career is now. And you're betting the prime of his career on this next head coach. You better get it right. You better get it right. Kenneth, what's up, my man? Jay Wright out of retirement?
He's a college coach, man.
He's a college coach. He's a college coach.
Most college coaches don't work in the NBA because they coach college basketball, and college basketball is a completely different game. Look at all the college head coaches that became NBA head coaches. None of them have succeeded. None of them. Rick Pitino, yeah, he's back in college. John Calipari, back in college. Billy Donovan, struggling with Chicago. Who was that other coach that coached Cleveland for a year and got fired? He was a college coach. I can't even remember his name. Out of there.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
None of them ever succeed. I don't want Jay Wright.
I also kind of want to move away from the country club vibes of we're the travel ball AAU team where our best player's dad is the coach, our best player's friends are on the team, our best player's godfather is the manager. Like let's be an NBA team. Brunson's here. I love Brunson. There's no need to coddle him anymore, and do what just makes him happy. And you know what, Alper? They're clearly not. They traded Dante DiVincenzo. That was his best friend on the team. He was in his wedding. Josh Hart was not. And then now fired Tom Thibodeau, who Jalen Brunson was asked at the end of Game 6, do you think he's the right guy for the job? And he asked the reporter, I believe Steve Popper, are you serious with that question?
Yeah. He looked at him like he had two heads.
Someone asked me, I don't know if you were in the bullpen, someone asked me, Marsh, who do you want? I said, whoever Giannis wants. You find out who Giannis wants to be the head coach, and you go get him. Partially joking, but not joking at all. I'm not. Unreal. Brian, what's up, man? Mike Budenholzer and Giannis, please. I don't know. I really don't know who it should be. I don't know. I don't know. Let's ask y'all. We put a weigh-in up. Who do y'all think should be the next head coach of the New York Knicks?
Mike Budenholzer just didn't succeed at all with the Phoenix Suns. And besides that one ring with the Bucks, he doesn't really interest me that much.
Luis is with you. Prigioni, not a bad idea.
I think he should get an interview. Look, he's been the assistant coach since 2019 with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they've gotten back-to-back Western Conference Finals. People think I'm crazy for it. I think he's a young coach with a young offensive, defensive-minded guy. I think he would help. Is this the first head coaching job he should go for? Maybe not. People are saying, Stack says Dice Yoshimoto. Yeah, if you say Rick Brunson, why not just say Dice Yoshimoto, the guy who actually coaches the Summer League team and coaches more than Rick Brunson? If you're going to say any Knicks assistant, it should be him. Carl Knight says Marshall Green for head coach.
Love that. That'd be a good hire. That'd be a really good hire. What's up, Beast? I forgot about it. I don't think I did a good job of it. Okay. Thank you.
No, it's Hector. I do not want Stan Van Gundy.
Thank you, Brody. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no need to go out.
What's good, Hunter? When you say Arison, do you mean Brett Brown, the former Sixers head coach? Is that who you mean? I saw one person in the chat say David Blatt.
Sherwin, good afternoon. Cat got Tibbs fired again. I'll challenge you to think a little bit harder here, Sherwin. Did Karl-Anthony Towns reveal the deficiencies of Tom Thibodeau? And I guess in a way you could say that means he got him fired, but did Karl-Anthony Towns on this team with Jalen Brunson show that Tom Thibodeau can't be the coach? I don't know if that makes sense, but
I don't think it was one person who got Tom Thibodeau fired. It wasn't Karl-Anthony Towns. It wasn't Mikal Bridges. It was the New York Knicks not winning. It wasn't on one person.
to be honest, if I had to hire a coach today, I'm hiring Mike Malone. That's the coach I would hire today. Championship winning coach. He did it with a center and a shooting guard that didn't defend.
Still can't defend.
And who are the New York Knicks? He's a New York guy. He's the offensive version of Tibbs. I obviously don't get to interview these people. If I had to hire someone today, I think it would be Mike Malone. I think that'd be my number one choice.
He's been an assistant with the Knicks.
That's where I'm at, I think. It's also hard for us to say because we don't know what the roster is going to look like.
It's interesting. I don't know. Those odds came out today. It's right next to the odds for head coach of the Knicks. There's a prop on here. Where will Karl-Anthony Towns play next season if it's not with the Knicks? And the Phoenix Suns are plus 160.
Plus 160.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. And people are like, ooh, is it for KD?
Do we hate Taylor Jenkins?
I don't really have a problem with Taylor Jenkins.
Former Memphis Grizzlies coach.
The reason Taylor Jenkins got fired was only because they went 11-13 right after the All-Star break, right? Or something around there.
And they also brought in someone to be their coordinator this year, and then they just gave the job to him.
Yeah, it was doomed from the start. Plus, when you have to deal with Ja Morant's antics, it's kind of hard.
He's from Arlington, Texas. He's only 40.
Only 40?
Sleeping on Carmelo Anthony, huh?
You think he wants to be a coach?
I don't know. We came up with a list, and we can film that video right now.
Cool, let me pull up the script. Where is it? There it is. All right, yeah.
Timothy Chalamet, that's what we're saying, maybe? Is he the next head coach?
Melo barely wanted to play defense. Did you think he wants to coach? Oh, that's hilarious.
Robert Pearson, Marsh for head coach? That'd be cool.
Let me,
Can you mute me real quick?
You said mute you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. All right, let's see what we got here. Carl Knight says, "Can you guys tell Coop how he will feel about Tibbs being the next head coach of the Mavs?" I'm just checking these just to make sure. All right, that looks good. Photos I already checked. They look good.
Rick Pitino. Wow, I cannot believe they did this. I said I wouldn't be shocked. I said that because I didn't think it would happen. I'm a little shocked. I'm a little shocked.
My first reaction was, oh my God, they did it. They did it. Holy shit, they did it. All right. Yeah, we're good.
Excuse me.
Just making sure. Oh, wait, no, those are watch party. Don't miss a thing. Who should the Knicks hire as our head coach? Okay. You ready for this, Marsh?
Yes, let's do it. Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Tom Thibodeau has been fired as the head coach of the New York Knicks, and the search for the next man is underway. And on today's video, we're going to go over some Tom Thibodeau replacements. The top Tibbs replacements, some names you will know, some names you may need to learn a little bit about. We're filming this video just minutes after the news, so there could be some new names that appear, but this will be the most up-to-date Tom Thibodeau list of Tom Thibodeau replacement list that you're going to find on the internet. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. The offseason is here, and we're in it. We're in it. 2 days since the Knicks season ended, and we're already in search of the next head coach of this basketball team. If you love the Knicks and you want free videos every day, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about it. Let's start with a name that I don't think you can create a list of Tom Thibodeau replacements without, and that's Jay Wright, the former head coach of Villanova, the former college head coach of Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges. Look, when it comes to Jay Wright, it would be a full circle moment. There's no doubt about that. It would feel like a movie, to be honest with you. I think the question is that the right move for this team? And I'm going to go out and say probably not. I'd like to see the Knicks kind of move on from that country club environment that they have right now of the Villanova Knicks. I think the Nova Knicks should be dead. I think we should be the New York Knicks, and I think we should be doing everything we can to win an NBA championship. Jay Wright's a hell of a coach. Jay Wright is one of the best college coaches ever. It's a much different game. It's a lot different coaching 18, 19, and 20-year-olds compared to 30-year-old 100 millionaires. I think they would see if he's available, but I don't think he's going to end up being the coach of the New York Knicks. So let's go to the guy who is the most coveted free agent head coach, and that's Michael Malone, the former head coach of the Denver Nuggets. As I filmed this video, 35 minutes after Tom Thibodeau being fired, Michael Malone is number one on my list. He's won an NBA championship. He's a New York guy. And the recipe that he won an NBA championship is very similar to how you would have to win one with the Knicks. With a guard that is an unreal shot creator, and Jalen Brunson, Jamal Murray, and a big man, Nikola Jokic, Karl-Anthony Towns, that is one of the best in the league offensively. He would have to coach a team to a championship that has subpar defenders at center and lead guard. I don't think they should just go out and hire him right now. Conduct a full search, conduct interviews, find out who the right guy is. But if you made me put my back against the cliff and answer the question today of who I want and who I think it'll be, I would probably say Michael Malone. I'm also looking at Taylor Jenkins, 40-year-old coach who spent the last 5 or 6 years as the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. I think he's a good coach. I think he got the raw end of the stick at the end of the year with Memphis. They brought in a assistant coach this year to be a coordinator type of coach, and it didn't work out. and now he is a free agent. I think he's a good coach. I don't know if he's a great coach. He's a little bit more offensive-minded, I would say, than Tom Thibodeau. He's just 40 years old. He can grow with this team. He can grow with this group. He's respected across the league. He plays his bench. He has been known to develop some younger players. He is definitely on my list of who the New York Knicks could go and look at. I got a couple more names I want to talk about on today's show, but I want to hear from you. Who do you think the New York Knicks should go out and hire as their next head coach? Who do you think? Who do you think it should be? Give me a name. Give me some names in the comments section and sound off for me. Who do you think the Knicks should hire as their next head coach? The next coach we're going to talk about is, I think, the favorite from the fans, and sounds like he's the betting favorite as well. That list also included coaches who are coaches elsewhere, and I think Stephen A. Smith was on that list, so not all that credible. Johnny Bryant was the assistant coach for the New York Knicks the last couple of years. He is also a finalist at the current moment to be the next head coach of the Phoenix Suns. He's been the Knicks associate head coach from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. 5 years. But he left the New York Knicks this offseason. I don't know what happened. To go be the associate head coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers. A lateral move. Does he want to be a part of this team? Does he want to be the head coach of the New York Knicks? I think it's a question he has to answer. I also think it's a job that comes with a lot of expectations, a lot of responsibility, and a lot of pressure. Knicks just fired a head coach after he got to the second round, and third round, 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. The Knicks were one of 3 teams to get to the second round or further each of the last 3 years, and they fired that head coach. Tom Thibodeau got fired because Leon Rose wants to win a championship. Does Johnny Bryant want to be the head coach of a team that he left for a lateral job and enter as the head coach with championship or bust aspirations? I guess he's got to answer that. Sam Cassell is a name that I've talked about on this channel before. I mentioned it months ago on this channel. Former NBA player. He's been an assistant for a long time. He's coached under Ty Lue. He's coached under Mazzulla. Mazzullo. I don't care what his name is. Nixon 6. I like it. I like Sam Cassell a lot. He's someone I'd be looking at. He's someone I would interview. And he's someone that I would spend a lot of time on to decide if he is that guy. But as I crafted this list, I quickly realized there's not a perfect head coach out there. There's just not. Another guy I'm looking at is Chris Quinn, the associate head coach of the Miami Heat. This is a guy that's been Eric Spoelstra's top assistant for the past couple of years. He's had a lot of interviews as well. I think he interviewed for the Phoenix Suns job earlier this offseason, which would have been his 6th interview to be a head coach. Let me just double check my notes on that. Played for the Miami Heat from 2006-2010 on Eric Spoelstra's staff since 2014. Now the top assistant. The Phoenix Suns mark his 6th NBA head coach interview. He's interviewed for the Suns, Bucks, Jazz, Hornets, Pistons, and Pacers. I don't mind stealing a coach from Eric Spoelstra. How about we steal Eric Spoelstra? That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Is there a way the Knicks can steal a coach that's already a coach somewhere else? Maybe. I don't know. I know one thing's for sure. Leon Rose has his work cut out for him. You fired a head coach that had you 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. And I understand why. I think Tom Thibodeau deserved to be the coach of the New York Knicks next year. I just think he deserved a year to run it back. But he didn't get it. And now we're looking for the next guy. And I'm hoping they get it right. Because you're in the prime of this team right now. You're in the prime of Jalen Brunson. You're going to be betting that coach's future and success on Jalen Brunson's prime. You better get it right, or you're not going to win a chip. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram @MarshallGreen_. Give me a follow over there, and let's go Knicks.
The infamous, this is a mistake. That's what he says. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
I don't know. I really don't know. I wouldn't mind hiring someone you never heard of either. This Allen Robinson just quote tweeted me.
Who?
You don't know who Allen Robinson is?
Oh, the wide receiver?
Yeah.
I thought I'm in Knicks mode. I was like, what?
I put Tom Thibodeau replacements go, and he quote tweeted and said Mike Malone.
Okay, AR-15. Is he still in the league?
No, he was on. I don't think he is. He was last year, though. Big Nick Energy said, we were informed early afternoon on June 2nd about the release of Coach Thibodeau. Out of respect for the Knicks and the sensitive nature of the situation, we waited for the organization to break the news. Details are limited, but more info is coming soon. Thanks who believed.
I mean, Big Nick Energy.
They've been right. Any scoop they've had, they've been right.
He tweeted out the Knicks are about to shock the world randomly yesterday, so we were wondering what it was. That was it. I just can't believe I can't believe it happened. Some super chats came in while we were doing the cut.
What up, Trey? Terry Stotts?
They ever make it to a conference final?
I think they did, the Blazers, and they got cooked.
The only memory I have of the Blazers is just both times Lillard hit a game-winning three to end the series.
I think they lost to the Warriors. Yeah, they lost to the Warriors in 2018, 2019.
Yeah, that was when they beat the Thunder.
He's a hell of an offensive coach. But I also don't want to see the New York Knicks go back to a team that has no defensive identity.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen. But I like Terry Stotts. I probably should have included him in that video. Good pull, Trey. BTD Reacts. What up, man? Get one of Giannis's brothers. Thanasis, can you hold a clipboard?
We had one.
There was Thanasis.
Yeah, we drafted him, didn't we? And then the Bush Kid.
The Bush Kid. What up, my man? Thank you for the love, Brody. He should have used the bench. He's not a bench coach. Sam Cassell. I like Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell ready to be is he ready to be an NBA Finals coach? Ty Lue did it in his first year, right, with the Cavs, but he also had
LeBron James
James
and Kyrie Irving and a prime Kevin Love.
Malone is Tibbs 2.0. Well, one's an offensive coach and one's a defensive coach, and one's an NBA champion and one is not. I think Tibbs might be Malone 2.0 on the other side. I don't know. If there was a perfect person to hire, I would say and scream this is who they should hire. There's not. There's not.
I mean, there's one guy, but he's employed, and he's employed down in Miami.
Yeah, Eric Spoelstra chills. Primi Spoelstra.
If you could steal Spoelstra, that's your guy. But I don't think that's happening. That's not
Joshua
happening.
Hernandez says, is Dan Hurley an option? He almost took the Lakers job. He's a Knicks fan.
Apparently, he didn't take the Lakers job because his wife did not want to move.
You
But
don't got to move too far to be a Knicks head coach. Is he an NBA guy?
That's the question.
Are those theatrics he does on the sideline going to be cool in the NBA? Are players in the NBA going to react well to Hurley? Yeah, let's steal Spoelstra. Let's get our revenge back, Steal Pasito. How about we do the whole 180 thing and we take their head coach kind of like they took ours.
You think Hurley going to mesh with JB? I don't know, brother. What's David Blatt doing these days? Isn't David Blatt become like one of the greatest European coaches to ever coach? Isn't that what happened? Let's look that up. He is currently coaching Maccabi Tel Aviv. He's not doing much.
I don't know.
I totally forgot. The Knicks hired him as a consultant in 2019. Forgot about that. Yeah.
I think I remember that. If you're going to hire Maloney an offensive coordinator, Mike Malone is an offensive coach. Do you guys just think he's Tom Thibodeau because he's old and white? That's a serious question. Do you think he's just Tom Thibodeau because he's old and white? Mike Malone is an offensive coach. Tom Thibodeau is a defensive coach. Like, come on, man. Come on. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to make your brain work a little bit harder. Why would an offensive coach hire an offensive coordinator?
It's same football.
Yeah, all of us white guys don't look the same, baby. Yeah, Michael Malone won an NBA championship. Yeah, he did. I don't get the Mike Malone hate. If you are just saying I don't want an old coach, I don't want a retread, sure, but like to poo-poo Michael Malone as the head coach, I think is not fair.
That's how I feel. I don't want an old coach, but there's no like true reason why Michael Malone wouldn't succeed with the Knicks. It's just my preference. I want a younger coach.
What year did the Nuggets win the finals?
23. When they beat the Heat.
2023 playoffs?
Yeah. That was when that was when the Celtics went down 3-0, came back down 3-0 to tie it at 3-3, and then they make the dumb excuse that Tatum hurt his ankle, and that's the reason why they didn't win Game 7.
One, two,
Good point,
three,
Coach JP.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, 8. What have I told you in the NBA Finals? The Denver Nuggets had 8 players play more than 13 minutes per game. How many people do you want to play? Do we just think because the Nuggets and the Pacers are there that you're supposed to play 10? Go through NBA history. The most you get in the finals is about 8 to 9
It's
players.
8-man rotation.
Yeah. And Murray and Jokic played 41 and 42 minutes. After that, Aaron Gordon, 35. Bruce Brown, 27. Michael Porter, 30. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 34. Christian Brown, in his rookie year, played 16 and a half minutes per game in the finals. I thought I didn't play young players. I didn't play the bench. It's weird.
Malone got fired because Jokic got him fired because of his temper and blow-ups.
Yeah. That's correct.
Yep, that is right, Steven.
That is correct.
Jokic and
he
Malone
ran his course.
did not get along.
I'm not banging the table for Michael Malone. But I do think I
Sure
had
as
a
hell
bet
I'm not gonna
today, he's
complain.
probably the guy.
Coach K.
Coach K. Really?
Carl Knight, if we got Doc Rivers, I'm crashing out. I'd break things. How we doing time in the Buckeye?
What up? Marsh has the same chance as Jay Wright. You're right. I wouldn't even want to do it. You're right. I wouldn't even want to do it. I
Carl
don't know.
Knight,
This
no.
is crazy.
Darvin Ham?
Darvin Ham.
You guys realize that Tibbs, towards the end, got a lot like Darvin Ham. There was multiple times. Okay, I was just making sure. There was multiple times where I'm sitting there. Okay, Tibbs, call a timeout. They're making a run. All right, Tibbs, call a timeout. They're making a run. Nothing would happen. Hey, out of a timeout. Let's run a good play. Nope. That's what Darvin Ham did. Bill Belichick.
Frank Isola says Jason Kidd. Scoop B. Robinson quote tweets that and said the Knicks wanted Jason Kidd in 2020 before hiring Tibbs as their head coach.
I don't trust anything that Scoop Robinson says. That dude has about
Frank Vogel in the chat.
Frank Vogel? He also didn't succeed with the Suns.
Steve Nash. Jalen Brunson's favorite player growing up was Steve Nash.
Frank Vogel also won a championship with the Lakers.
Is
Very
Johnny
true,
Bryant
Justin.
offensive minded? I don't know. Never been a head coach. We don't know anything about Johnny Bryant except he stood on the Knicks bench for 5 years.
Yeah. And he was now on the bench of the Cavs.
The Knicks owe Tom Thibodeau $30 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
Must be nice. Does Tom Thibodeau coach in the NBA next year?
I don't know. He is one of the favorites for the Suns head coach.
Really?
Yeah, he is plus 600 to coach the Suns next year. Plus 1,200 to coach the Bulls. Not coaching in the NBA, though, minus 4,500.
Does he just hang it up? Does he have anything in life he could do besides basketball?
He could. I could see this easily happening. He gets hired by NBC and just be one of their studio analysts.
What if Woj hires them to be the St. Bonaventure coach? Hire a nobody like the Thunder coach? Look, if you can find someone as good as that Thunder coach, yeah, you do it.
Where did he come from?
I don't know.
Mark Dagnall? Mark Dagnall before he was the...
He was their G League coach.
He was the G League coach.
Who's our G League coach? Isn't that Dice?
I thought it was Dice. Is Dice smart enough? Dice Yoshimoto? Don't even have a bio for Dice Yoshimoto. Part of the Players Association. Okay, Dice Yoshimoto. 2020 to 2022. Knicks assistant. Special assistant to Tom Thibodeau. Wait, let's start. He might be gone. Marsh, I'm going to read you this, and you're going to laugh your ass off. Dice might be off, but Dice might be gone.
Oh, Dice is not this coach.
No, I'm saying he might be off the team. That's
what I'm saying.
So 2011 through 2016, Chicago Bulls assistant video coordinator to Tom Thibodeau. 2016 to 2020, Minnesota Timberwolves assistant to the head coach Tom Thibodeau. 2020-2022, Knicks special assistant to the head coach Tom Thibodeau. 2022 to present, Knicks assistant coach Tom Thibodeau. He's followed him from the Bulls to the Timberwolves and the Knicks. He might not be on the team next year.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Joshua Hernandez, you can trade for a coach. The Clippers traded for Doc Rivers back in the day.
Oh, it's going to be a busy offseason. I don't think this is the last shocking thing that happens.
No.
If I had to make a prediction today of what the next move is, I think it involves Josh Hart and or Mikal Bridges.
So you think for sure Cat is on this team next year?
For sure, no.
Because I don't know.
Not for sure. Not for sure.
Bridges is gone. I don't know who would want Bridges.
What's going on, Mr. Rick? It says, forward this stream to Mara and Tish. The New York football giants may learn something. I know that is harsh, but Marshall. If the New York Giants got to the NFC Championship game, they may make that coach their coach for the rest of time. I don't know if it was a smart move. I don't. Josh Hart, untouchable. He's a great bench piece. Yeah, untouchable, as is Dante DiVincenzo, right? And as is Julius Randle, right? And the Knicks would never fire Tom Thibodeau because he's the best coach that they had since blah, 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 blah. Can we stop saying the Knicks won't do something? The Knicks have gone against everyone's thoughts and beliefs of things that they would never do.
There's one player that's untouchable. That's it. And it's Jalen Brunson.
The Knicks are going to do, Leon Rose is going to do whatever he thinks is best for a championship. If he thinks trading Josh Hart's best, he's going to do it. He traded Jalen Brunson's best friend and Dante DiVincenzo. He fired Jalen Brunson's head coach, who Jalen Brunson said, I love Tom Thibodeau, and I believe in him, and I want him to be the guy. Enough with the Knicks would never do something. Because they would never trade R.J. Barrett. They would never trade Emmanuel Quickley. They would never trade Obi Toppin. They would never trade Quentin Grimes. They would never trade Julius Randle. Leon always knows his next move. He does. He does. I've said it a million times. I think he's the most forward-thinking front office guy in the league.
He's always thinking 2 steps ahead. DC, I'm in denial.
OG and Hart for Giannis.
I don't think those contracts match up.
Let's see.
I said it earlier about the rumors of Cat's next team, like, if possible, being the Suns at plus 160. What makes people think that that trade would be for KD? Leon Rose loves, and I mean loves, Devin Booker.
OG and Josh Hart is $54 million. Is this last year's?
Joshua Chua was on a 1-year deal.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
OG Anunoby and Josh Hart.
Would it work?
Per fanspo.com, it works. As I am
focusing. Jesus. What is going on?
Cool. I don't know what's happened there.
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna try auto chroming or something.
I'll put myself right there for now. There we go.
There we go.
All
We're
right.
back.
You're
We're back.
back.
Giannis makes $54 million, according to Fanspo. And Josh Hart and OG Anunoby combined to make 58.9.
Oh, my God.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I love you, OG.
I would trade OG
But-
and Hart with picks and swaps and in a second. In fact, people look at Giannis as an old player. He's 30.
He's 30.
He's 30.
They just think of him as old because he's been in the league since 2013.
Yeah.
He came into the league at 18 years old.
My number one player on my list is Giannis.
Get Giannis.
I think they should do whatever it takes to get Giannis. And if you could keep Cat while doing it, that's my number one goal because you need a stretch five next to Giannis. And if you could roll Cat, Giannis, and Brunson, you're winning a championship.
What would that lineup be? Mitch off the bench still? Or would you run Giannis at the 4?
I run
Five.
Giannis at the 4, Cat at the 5.
Cat at the 5?
You need a stretch 5 next to Giannis.
Yeah.
You need someone that can clear out the paint.
And Giannis is good enough at defense where he can handle the paint himself. Then you have Mitchell Robinson and another year development of Huck Porty.
Still have Deuce. Still have McHale.
You can sign a couple free agents.
Yeah, you got the taxpayer mid-level of $5 million. Shoot, I'd bring back DeLon Wright. I'd probably even bring back Shamet.
I'd bring back Shaman in a heartbeat.
I don't know.
Exactly, so wavy. Don't like Cat the center, but anything. Let's see here. Free agents for 2025. Steven Adams. You got SGA's cousin. We heard
Nikhil Alexander Walker.
so many goddamn times. Delano Banton, I think he's underrated as hell. That's basically it. Nobody big. Chris Boucher, Tony Bradley, Bruce Brown,
If he could be healthy, I would love Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo. That'd be awesome.
If he was healthy. He could defend. He could run the show. He could take the ball out of Brunson's hands. He could allow Brunson to play off ball.
Would you have to trade for? What's his contract look like?
$10 million.
10 million is good. One person I really like, and it's just because I bet on him so much in the regular season, Colin Sexton.
I like Sexton. He's a competitive SOB, man. He competes. I don't know. Tibbs, the dinosaur's gone. I would honestly love to bring back Devo. Giannis would never play for New York. I like Sexton. Malik Beasley is a free agent.
Oh, Malik Beasley.
I don't know. They've got a lot. Chris Paul as a backup point guard would love that.
That'd be
love
awesome.
that. Would you do Towns and Wizards first for Markkanen and Kessler? No. Why am I attaching a first? I'm giving up the best player.
Towns.
Why am I giving up a first in that deal? They better give me at least one first.
Yeah, they got to
maybe
give
two.
a first.
Lauri Markkanen is not even close to the player that Towns is. You trading Hart and picks for Alex Caruso? Well, I don't think OKC's trading him. It's going to be a hot summer. It's a hot Knicks summer.
Bruce Brown. Yep.
I like CP3 signing, Beasley and trading for Devo back. Thoughts?
Mo Wagner would want way too much money. Al Horford on a vet min?
Vet min, sure. Is he playing? Is he signing for the vet min?
What is his worth? He's 40.
I think the Celtics would. I also could see at this point it's retirement or Celtics for Al Horford. Yeah, Leon Rose nuked the Giants live stream. I had it scripted, ready to go, and Leon Rose said, "Not today, Sonny, not today."
Jonathan, I think you have no choice. Tyler Kolek is going to be great. They just have to let him play and develop.
The Knicks were 182 games under 500 in the 6 seasons before Tom Thibodeau arrived. He deserves a lot of credit. He deserves a lot of praise.
Thank him for everything.
Yeah. Just feels weird, man. Feels weird. That's Jalen Brunson's coach, man. Jalen Brunson's coach. Yeah. Not anymore.
He was when was Tom Thibodeau hired? What day was he hired? Because I was so mad. I was so mad when he got hired. I was like, I wanted Kenny Atkinson. What are we doing here? Let's see. Tom Thibodeau got hired July 30th, 2020. I graduated college like May 27th, 2020. Bronx Boy says never did a live stream without him.
No?
Yeah.
No. The first lives we did were in the summer of 2022. Summer of 2022, the Donovan Mitchell summer. Self-produced the first live we did. That was 2022, right? Summer 2022, Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, then 2023 they lost to the Heat. 2024 they lost to the Pacers. Yeah. So 2022, we've been doing these live streams for almost 3 years now. And every single one has been with Tom Thibodeau. Every single one.
Yeah, it was 2022 because that was the summer we signed Brunson, and then it was the big rumor that we were going to trade RJ for Donovan Mitchell, and then Danny Ainge pretty much said, screw you, you're the Knicks, and then 20 minutes later, RJ signed that extension.
Which Big Nick Energy said that he would.
There we go.
Ty Dobbs just saw the news. Holy shit, Tips is out of there, huh? He's gone, man. He's gone. I don't really know what to say. I don't.
Shams. Trade OG and Hard, sign a coach, develop our rookies, re-sign Shamit and DeLon Wright, and sign free agents. Don't have much cap space.
Yeah, you don't have any cap space. You're over the cap. You have a $5.2 million taxpayer mid-level exception. There should be a photo in there from
Knicks payroll?
No, Bobby Marks.
Bobby Marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Like, you don't have much ways to improve this roster all that much. I mean, you're already up to $200 million, and you have 9 players under contract. 9 players under contract. I mean, are they going to bring back P.J. Tucker on a team option? Are they going to bring back Ariel Huckporty? Yes.
100%.
They're bringing back Deuce. They're bringing back Kolek. They're bringing back, well, Kolek's deal is fully guaranteed. Dottier's was not guaranteed. They're going to bring, so you got the 5 starters. You got Deuce, you got Kolek, you got Dottier, you got Robinson and Huckporty. So you got 10 players on the roster. Maybe you accept the team option for P.J. Tucker for a trade piece, trade salary filler. But yeah, already $200 million committed in salary. You're already a first apron team. You're $7.8 million away from the second apron. You're not hard capped at the second apron at the current moment, but you got a lot of free agents. As you can see, Precious Achiuwa, Cam Payne, DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet, Anton Watson. That's going to be a priority to get him back. Kevin McCullough Jr., can't believe it's not Butter Beauchamp, and P.J. Tucker. You have a taxpayer mid-level exception of $5.7 million. You have a second-round trade exception and veteran minimums. Like, it's all cool to say sign free agents. Who are you signing at $5.7 million is going to improve this team? To put that into perspective, Alper, that deal went to Precious Achiuwa last year.
Yeah. Like, I can list you guys all these people. John Collins, Bruce Brown, Malcolm Brogdon, Duncan Robinson, Karis LeVert, Luke Kennard, Naz Reid, Dorian Finney-Smith. All those guys are going to want at least $10 million. You can't afford them. Like, even Steven Adams was making $12 million. It's going to be interesting. We have to commit to Huckporty? Yeah, 100%. He's shown potential.
Adonis the A-Train, what's up, my man? Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the love. Says, sorry about the Knicks losing. Stanley Cup pick. I'm choosing the team from Florida.
It's Florida.
The team from Florida.
Except Edmonton, the Canadian team, they're favorites.
Are they?
Yes. It's very slim favorites.
Achiuwa's a free agent, Tyler? Yep. We just said that, baby. Just said that.
Prince.
Oh.
Trade Hart Mitch Bridges for Jaren Jackson Jr.? Are you crazy?
I like Jaren Jackson. I don't know about all that, though.
Jaren Jackson can't rebound. We should keep DeLon Wright. I wouldn't mind that, Ty Dubs. Annie Gaming Network says, could we get Lonzo Ball if Chicago chooses to waive him? And what would you think about Mitch for Jonathan Isaac or Jabari Smith? I'd rather have Mitchell Robinson than Jonathan Isaac.
I agree.
Bronx Boy says...
Bronx Boy, Mad Dog Russo knows nothing about the New York Knicks.
No.
Mad Dog Russo knows nothing about the New York Knicks.
Neither does any of those New York media. Did you see, like, Sal Licata and all those people at Geo talking about the Knicks after on Monday?
I like that show because they're friends of this show. He was. But every dog has their day. And I don't know. That would be like saying Stephen A. Smith is blaming him, in my opinion.
I think Mad Dogs is on drugs. Ty Dubs, well, technically talks about, I don't know what this means, but he goes on First Take all the time and is like, yeah, I took a gummy.
No, he doesn't.
I swear to God. He goes on First Take. He's like, yeah, I'm watching this game just while I'm off a gummy. I'm like, what? You're saying this on ESPN airwaves,
What
bro?
are gummies? What are gummies?
I don't know. He's nuts. Yeah. It's the greatest line. He was like, yeah, I ate a gummy, put 10 grand on this one team to win, and sat back and watched. I was like, what the hell? Can I have your life? Yeah,
My effing hero. I thought that was me. That was me.
Either Josh or Deuce won't be on this team next year. Maybe.
My dad's not happy about it, that's for sure.
My dad's ecstatic.
Yeah?
Yeah. He said they had to.
Should we call Fred? See what he has to say? In the chat, he says, if you think the Knicks roster as constructed was good enough to win a championship, you are delusional. We did not have one good bench player. That is why he didn't play them. Pacers bench has the following lottery picks: Ben Mathurin, Obi Toppin, and Jarris Walker. We did not have one first-round pick or young stud on the bench. Leon Rose did a terrible job building the roster. I don't agree with all that.
My dad texts me, says, I want Mike Malone. No one's talking about Denny Avdia? That dude it's going to want way too much money. Didn't he just sign an extension? Made $15 million a year. We had Obi Toppin.
Should I DM Frank Isola and said, told ya?
I forgot about that. Yeah, you 100% should. The new Pope should be the next head coach. Carl Knight, he's from Chicago.
I just DM'd Frank and said, told ya, even though I think he earned another year for the playoff run. That's fair.
100% fair.
Like, if we're going to have a debate and then the resolution of the debate is Tom Thibodeau being fired, I should be able to.
Like, you're not taking your victory lap, but you said to him that I think Tom Thibodeau could be fired at the end of the year.
And he messaged me out of nowhere.
Yes.
He messaged me out of nowhere. And when I asked him to come on the show after he blew my phone up for a day, he didn't respond. So
have a home and home. You go on his radio show. He comes on Knicks Now. Not Jarris Walker.
Someone just tweeted at me, Phil Jackson.
I hope they're trolling.
Unbelievable. All righty, we're going to sign off on today's show. Breaking news. Tom Thibodeau has been fired, and the search for the next head coach is underway. I'm appreciative for everything that Tom Thibodeau did for the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks, as we know it, are the New York Knicks because of Tom Thibodeau. People want to give that credit to Julius Randle. Shut up. It's Tom Thibodeau and Jalen Brunson. But the Knicks were a joke. Tom Thibodeau got here, and he turned them into a competitor. Now we need someone to turn us into a championship winner. Who that is, I do not know.
To be determined.
It'll be Leon Rose's job to find that out. We'll be here to break it down every step of the way. So subscribe, turn those notifications on, and if you could, hit that thumbs up icon on your way out. We'll see you later. Let's go.
Let's go.